fucking a serape, if you will.
A serape. Serap means delicious in Tagalog. I don't know why I know that. I don't. I really don't.
Maybe it's because you're Filipino and sometimes these things trickle down.
You're Filipino? Just kidding.
Bro, I don't even think I'm Filipino. Cut me open.
Funny.
I want to see what I'm like on the inside. Oh, here. This one will definitely... Oh, this is... It's a hooded blanket. Oh, but it doesn't seal.
I'd like to be sealed airtight, please.
I'd like to be burrito.
Poncho does not have a seal. That's why your arms are dangling.
I want to be like the fucking Gimp from American Horror Story.
How dare you bring that into this space?
What's a Gimp?
Into the safe space.
Remember when I asked about that? Good times.
What a Gimp is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. This is my top 5 favorite Dahlia moments if I had to rank them.
My favorite is I don't give a feck.
I don't give a fuck.
You know what? In my third and top 5 unforgettable Dahlia moments, top 5 unforgettable Dahlia moments when you beat me up in front of my friends and loved ones.
Oh my god,
my
never live
top
it down.
favorite one. My favorite one is, what are you doing? That's my friend.
Oh yes, when you
was-
came to
that
my
was good.
defense,
That one wins for me.
and you turned to me. You turned to me in love when you had earlier that year so crushed me.
Oh my god.
Wait, did that happen first?
Who's to say?
You live in a different temporal space than I do, I guess.
I believe that to be true. Yes.
Because it's so fresh, my favorite Dahlia moment is when I got really excited about Kyle MacLachlan, and then you were so taken
Which
aback
time?
that you went,
Which time?
Is that
the
recent?
Razorhead one. You were like, he was in the most ugliest scene in history or whatever, like the most saddest one, and I was like, he was in Showgirls, and then I was like, oh yeah, and he was in the Flintstones too.
Right. He was in the. He was doing the pool fucking in Showgirls. You damn right. You damn right.
He nutted in his
God,
own
that
pants,
scene.
dude. That's so embarrassing.
You know, top 5
Pathetic.
unforgettable Kyle MacLachlan moments.
Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dahlia.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio.
I'm Quetzal.
And we're just 4 cool girls who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today we're watching a movie that showed us a little bit more Ben Affleck than we asked for. Gone Girl, released in 2014, directed by my best friend, David Fincher.
My brother in Christ.
And my brother in Christ, David Fincher. And today's loser is...
It's
Dahlia.
me. Wow.
Dahlia. I would like to say real quick, I at the time did ask for that of Ben Affleck. I'm not here to rewrite history. I did ask to see that much of Ben Affleck at the time. When I see a dick I like, I would like to see more of it.
Whoa,
I'd actually
whoa.
like, if there's a dick that I'd like to see the dick.
That part.
You're so right, because in Tangerine, I saw one I did not want to see.
And I did wanted to see even less of it.
We saw at least 2 in Tangerine. And there was one dong I did want to see, and we did not see.
Would have been the ultimate, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We move on.
Q, why do you put your cursor in the weirdest spots?
Why does that bother you? We've already passed that point.
You don't need to read the word Affleck again.
Yeah, I was like, I already read that.
I know, but still, it's like, it's this jarring, like...
I was lusting. Let me lust. I was.
So you put your cursor dead ass in the middle of the word.
Anyway, why'd we pick this? Oh my god, guys, I'm so glad you asked.
so glad you
The
asked.
first point is my pal, my guy, friend of the pod, David Fincher, directed this.
David Finchy.
David
Finchy
Finchy.
Finchy winchy, that binchy.
All right, Antonio.
I'm just gonna bring
so
manic
loving.
energy. That's all I got left is just manic energy.
That's when we make our best content, I think.
Oof.
Anyway,
David Fincher here
Fincher.
again. I can't believe it. What were the other films he did that we reviewed?
We did
Zodiac?
Zodiac
Social Network.
and The Social Network.
Interesting. Anyway, we know him for his gritty movies, so I anticipate that.
His like slightly sociopathic ones.
We love to see it.
Fight Club.
Also, March is Women's History Month, and we fucking love women, especially baddies, as we see in this flim. I do love women. And the book, by the way, Gone Girl, was written by a woman.
I forgot to add that it was also based on a book.
It was written by Gillian Flynn, who does other things. Like Sharp Objects and Dark Places. There's two different things she's done that sound vaguely familiar, but I have not seen them.
Sharp Objects was a show, limited series on HBO with Amy Adams. I want to say I think that's correct. I'm 99% sure that's correct.
And she, I believe, writes the screenplays too. So yeah, she wrote the screenplay for Gone Girl, for example, and she's also the writer of the book. So like, it's always nice to have like the authors have that say, because it's like their vision and they get to adapt it to like a different medium.
Sometimes.
So we love to see it most of the time. And finally, and this is where I can just real quickly nerd out, it is a bit true crime-ish. And this one, I'm happy to talk about it after we've seen it. At least when I was watching this, I was like, this is the Scott Peterson case.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I cannot wait to talk about that, because I remember when that was all over the news. I remember watching that like on the news with my grandpa.
Are you guys familiar with that case?
I am.
Lacey
I mean,
Okay.
if you tell me the details of it, I might remember it, but I don't know.
So
I've always lived in my own world.
Do you want to wait to talk about it?
Yeah, I will
Let's
kind of wait
wait.
because I don't want to give out too much of the plot for Dahlia. But we can definitely talk about it, because that is a wild case.
A lot of
We
parallels.
were around. We were definitely around. And I think Miss Flynn said that she was inspired by multiple things. But when I saw this, I'm like, that specifically.
Right. I have not, just to preface maybe this next part, is like I have not
Yes,
seen,
what do you know?
I did not see the new Hulu show about that. I did watch The Staircase, so I didn't know that. But I did know that part about that true crime-ish stuff, but I don't know anything about Gone Girl, like zero. I think one of these girls that we had seen from Pride and Prejudice, isn't it?
Rosamund Pike.
Rosamund Pike. And I think that's about all I knew, because you guys were like, it's on the list, like we'll watch it eventually. And oh my god, look, here we are.
Oh my
That's pretty much
god.
it.
Mama, we made it.
I thought that it was going to be like something different, so to hear that it's true crimey is like brand new.
What'd you think it
information to
was?
me. I thought it was a drama.
I mean,
I thought it was
I
a
mean-
sad.
I mean, it's
I thought it was like a sad drama, like emotional. Not this, which it still could be.
who's to say?
Who is to say?
Who is to say?
Ketzel best, obviously.
When I'm happy to go over the Rotten Tomatoes scores. Rotten Tomatoes gives it an 88%, audience an 87%, and Google an 82% for a solid B.
High B. That's a
High B, B plus, if you will.
Yeah, B plus. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So solid. And then we have our list of actors, which are Rosamund Pike, who we have seen before in Pride and Prejudice on the pod. Ben Affleck, who we've actually just seen on our Valentine's Day episode, and surprised the hell out of me. I didn't expect to love him. For He's Just Not That Into You episode, please check it out. We have the surprise member featuring Neil Patrick Harris. And also Medea, Tyler Perry.
Isn't Neil Patrick
Thoughts?
Harris a magician?
He gives
He's
me
up there.
magician energy.
I feel
I think he
he
does
just
too.
unlock something.
I think he's a
Yeah.
magician. Like, he actually does like the magic tricks that he does. for he's just not that into you. I'm sorry. How I Met Your Mother. It stems from the fact that he actually does magic because he does. Yeah, I think he just released some sort of like card game thing with Theory 11.
I knew there was a reason. I was like, he's all right, but there's something about him I don't like.
Some dark-sided.
Something dark-sided.
Something evil about him.
And that was it. Thank you, Antonio, for giving me that fact. And that fuel.
He used to run a magic club.
He's like King Magician.
I get immediate
Wizard, Lizard King, and King Magician. Magician King?
Nope.
Magician
Neil
Lord?
Patrick Harris.
Magician Lord.
A
Stay away
wizard?
from me.
Oh, the Wizard King. The Wizard King of Angmar.
Anyway, thoughts, Dahlia?
I mean, I don't have any like expectations at all. Like, clearly you heard what I thought it might have been. Now that I know it's some of these things, and now that I know it's David Fincher, I completely didn't know that up until we were just talking about it. I can say it's going to be a gritty movie. I have that expectation. I feel like it's going to be like, and now that I see true crimey, I feel like it's going to be something not so chill about women, which makes me feel very not great. But it seems like it's empowering, so I'm hoping that that's going to pull through. I think I'm going to like it.
Okay. Because you like true crime?
Yeah, but I also dislike things even though they're good. Like, you know, when you hate a actor playing this villain role so good that you like hate them, but not like in real life. You're just like, wow, it's so good.
That's you with every single villain.
It just sometimes those things don't transfer. Like the story was good type of thing, but like the way that it made me feel afterwards, like I can't bear to watch it again, or like it was a one-time watch. Like it could go that way. I don't know, but I'm interested to see what unravels here.
Antonio, as someone who kind of barely watched it, did you enjoy it?
Not particularly, I don't think.
Excellent. This will be most intriguing.
Honestly, I don't even know if I was caring about watching it when I first watched it. I just remember some parts of the end, and I was like, I'm good. I'm sure it's really intriguing and all, but it's not one of those ones where I want to see it again. It wasn't exactly like, I didn't have high hopes to watch it again in my life.
I liked it. I can't wait.
I
can't wait to
this.
rewatch it. I'm so excited. I've been waiting to. I was going to, like a couple months ago, and then I was like, no, I'll wait, so it'll be fresh when we all watch it together.
Together. Let's finish this the way we started, Tom.
Together.
Oh my god.
How long is this movie?
She's thickums. It's like 2 hours. And
Get ready to eat.
Something minutes.
Maybe be thinking about some dinner.
Maybe get some snacks.
Yeah.
It is almost 2 hours long.
Almost 2 hours? Not even 2 hours?
How long is it?
100. Nope, never mind. I completely lied. I said I can't do math. It is 2 hours and 19 minutes, 29 minutes, 29 minutes.
Oh my god.
Thank you,
That's
Ketzel. I'm so glad you went to school.
You know what? It's not even went to school. I went to a couple schools too.
Oh my god.
Don't you have a master's degree?
I do. I do have a master's degree.
I think you went to 3 of them.
I did. I have a bachelor's and a master's.
One of them couldn't teach you to fucking read time. Not one of them.
Anyway, stop recording.
Man, I'm tired. Y'all, I'm tired. And I'm tired.
Why are you tired?
This movie took a lot out of me, man. I went on a roller coaster of emotions. I went to the highest highs, went to the lowest lows. I wanted to stop. I was like,
I went to go play Homescapes.
Yeah,
For
well,
like
I'm not
Yeah,
gonna talk
we
about
know
that. We know Antonio.
You
know.
provided no context at all during
Got
the
it.
messages. At some point, you guys were like, "Are you alive?" And I'm just like, "Yep."
No.
Dead. No, I'm not.
No, but there are parts in this movie that I'm just like, ooh, it's so good. It's so yummy. So scrumptious. So scrummy.
I
So
think
scrummy.
I think a lot is that the first bit is very true crimey, that I can see you shedding away from that. But for Dahlia, however, my good sis is providing theories, and every time you provided a theory, I was like,
I was like,
My phone was in my hand and like nothing would pop up, and I was like, wow, they're very quiet during this movie. And I guess it was just like my notifications weren't on for the entirety of it. I don't know.
you
like,
you put
"Do
yourself
not
on do not
disturb."
disturb. There you go. We were going off.
Anyway, hello.
So you're exhausted.
If you can't tell already, sorry for that in your ear.
A lot's happened today.
It surely has.
Lots of murder.
Murder.
Mida.
I feel murder in this Chili's tonight.
Shall we just get started? Like, should we just
Let's
just get
just-
started? Let's just get into
Jump
it.
into it.
Yeah. Sky, do you wanna help me with this one?
no. Yeah, I'll help you
Go
out.
ahead.
Oh, you want me to
us out.
start? I thought you were going to start. I was like, I'll help you out later.
I'll start Girlie. Gone Girlie.
Gone, girly.
This girl was gone.
This Girlie was gone. I'll start. Let me start. 'Cause
And by specifically Girlie being gone, I meant myself. I was
Girlie,
gone for, like,
Girlie was gone. I'll get, because listen, this outline's got my stank on it, and I think anyone that reads this can tell. So, we begin with Nick Dunn, who is Benjamin Affleck, and off the
Benjamin.
Benjamin to be looking kind of tasty, and we
He
have
be
established
looking so tasty. I was just like,
He
what's
ain't never
happening
looked
to
not
me?
tasty.
just his mind isn't tasty.
Okay.
It's like he got soft. I think that's what it is. You know,
know what? I'm
he
okay.
Nick Dunned in real life.
he nicked Dunn so hard he nicked Dunn in real life.
He was looking mighty tasty in
He
this
was looking
movie,
real
okay?
tasty, and it's
He
all the
was looking
Dunkies.
real good. I was like,
Body built
That
on
dunk-
Dunkies.
His heart chakra was very aligned because of all the Dunkies, so I could really see that.
Dude, the amount of
like, I love
Dunkies
this.
cups in this movie, astronomical.
It's like
I'm
hidden Mickeys.
supplied.
It was like hidden Mickeys.
It's like it's the Dunkies, the Dunkies,
The
Drink.
hidden donkey.
the hidden Dunkies. Anyway, so we have Nicholas Dunn. He's a writing teacher, and so he returns home on his 5th anniversary to find his wife, Rosamund Pike, missing. She gone, girl. So immediately, there we go.
You said it. We're done.
We're
We
done.
don't have to talk about it ever
She
again.
gone, girl. Like,
And
Podcast
podcast, thanks
over.
for coming. That concludes this episode of Sit Down
bye,
Losers.
losies. Like shit's overturned. Like, yeah, he's like, the press is all over this shit. Immediately. One, because Nick's obviously a suspect, so like, people love that
The
shit.
husband always does
The
it. That's
husband's always
true
a
crime
suspect.
101.
But he's also like super weird and nonchalant, like while being questioned, so he just puts himself on everyone's radar. Like he just Dolly, you were immediately suspicious of him. I mean, we all were watching that for the first time.
Right.
You're like, yeah, fuck.
I think, yeah, I feel like we can kind of segment this into like different parts. So like part 1 was like the true crime aspect of it. And then the other parts that we'll talk about in a sec.
I mean,
But,
it's
like,
the hard cut. In the middle, there's a hard cut. And it's before and after the hard cut.
yeah. So like this first part, it's just like, something is like weird, because he's not like, and I think I said this to you guys in messages. People grieve differently, so not everybody's gonna cry in the same situations, so it's really like not okay to like be suspicious, but at the same time it's like the closer you are to a person when something bad happens to them, the more likely suspect you are because you're so close to them. So
Yeah.
I mean, his wife was missing and he's like, I don't know where she is. Like I just went out to have my coffee and, I went out on a walk.
He went to get his Dunkies, first of all. Let's get that straight.
sorry.
Secondly, like, he didn't tell the parents. He just did stuff that, like, was not... There was no sense of urgency in him. And
Yes.
just in this whole first half, this is where when I was watching this, I'm like, this is fucking Scott Peterson. Not only because the Scott Peterson case, Antonio, because you didn't know about it, the Scott Peterson case is, like, a missing pregnant wife. And her husband, who actually, like, has the same vibe as Nick does in this brunette.
He's sporty.
Yeah, like conventionally
He's very
attractive,
personable.
right? And he would like at the vigil, there's pictures of him smiling and stuff, so that like Nick doing a smile next to his missing wife poster. That was so Scott Peterson. that I remembered. So I was like,
Like,
this
it
is what
just
it is. Yeah.
Tracks as bad.
Yeah.
He was also suspect in his wife's.
He was
murder.
found guilty.
Yeah, I was like, he did it.
Yes.
But
He did
Well,
it.
yeah.
He was found guilty of murdering.
Well, I mean, in
her.
the time of him being like suspect.
Yeah, like everyone was like, and it was like,
Hey.
you remember it being it was all over the press and media. What fucking year was that?
2006, 2005, maybe?
And so that's where like if you're a true crime fan, that's where that pulled together. And totally, like, he had all the signs of like, this, you're being fucking weird, dude. Like, you're not being like the kind of grieving like a husband ought to be. Again, there's no like one pin perfect way of like grieving and stuff, but like, you're just so
You're just so silly.
Stop.
He actually, Ben Affleck actually looks a lot like him. I'm going to send it to you guys.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
it's
crazy.
It's actually really crazy. It was 2002 when she went missing, and then he was convicted in 2004. So early 2000s.
Yeah, isn't it crazy? Like, look at this fucking picture.
Oh my god. Oh my, I'm just like a fucking idiot, okay? I'm so sorry. I think I'm conflating the staircase in this, whatever this is.
Yeah, the staircase is a different case of like that older.
Yeah,
man.
there was like a
owl
documentary that
theory.
came out after this. There you
God, that's...
Good
I remember I
shit.
had you explain that to me, and I was like, well, what?
Oh yeah, because I was on that shit. Way before it blew
go.
up.
Sorry,
Baby.
everybody. Hey, everybody. I'm not always right all the time.
Well, I was saying because there is a Hulu documentary currently on the Scott Peterson case, so I didn't question it when you said the staircase. I thought you were just flexing other docs you watched.
Oh no. Thank you.
No.
Sorry. My correction corner. Anyway.
And in this case too, it came out while Lacey Peterson was missing that he had cheated on her with somebody, and like that was also a
Kushner.
thing. Yeah, with someone from Fresno. This was all in like our area, like California area.
Yeah, it was fucking weird.
Gillian Flynn said that wasn't like a direct inspiration, but like when I saw this, I'm like, boots, it's too close. Anyway, but like, so Nick's weird, whatever. But people are also all over this because Amy was an inspiration for this children's book series that her parents wrote called Amazing Amy. So she was like already like
She was well
known,
by her
privileged,
like,
got money.
fictional persona.
Yeah.
Fiction
Exploited by her parents, the usual.
essentially, which was very horrible for me to find out. Like, they went to like a little gala or whatever of her parents' like books, and it was about her, and she was just talking about how every mistake she made, they like revamped it and made it better. Like, Amazing Amy was like the daughter that like they kind of wish they had or whatever, the successful one, that things turned out right for her. That's so fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
So, meanwhile, we have our main detective, Rhonda
Boney.
Boney, okay. I was like,
They called her
Boney?
Boney.
Boney finds poorly concealed evidence of a struggle in the house, and they also find more clues like unclean blood stains. And then there's evidence that they had major issues in their marriage, which BT dubs, they totally did, as like they revealed in flashbacks. Their marriage is shreked because they lost their jobs during the recession and had to move to a place that Amy didn't even want to fucking go to. And then Nick cheats on her with one of his fucking students because he's
The typical
disgusting.
cliche.
A
Like,
20-year-old.
I hated that. I'm like, dude, of course the fucking creative writing teacher fucks one of his students.
English
It's
teachers
not
are
even
the
a surprise.
worst.
Tell me
You
about
ever
it.
see Pretty
stud.
Little Liars?
No, but I know
Yeah.
about that. And disgusting. I know about that English teacher. He's an English teacher, I assume.
Yes, of
Yeah.
course, and his name is like Ezra. So I'm like, oh, of course.
Anyway, so he was cheating, and not that this excuses any of the crazy shit Amy pulls later, but that was kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
I was led to believe at this time that like he was abusing her and cheating on her and trying to kill her. because that's the picture that was painted.
We get the flashbacks through her diary.
Of course he didn't know. It was perfect.
The perfect
It was
crime.
perfect that he didn't know. I'm just saying, like, at the time when they find this out, they're like, it was a neighbor, and she was just like, and she's pregnant, and then everybody was like, whoa, like, it wasn't even like no secret, like, to him. It was like in front of everybody all at once, and I'm like,
Everyone in this Missouri town was getting their wig snatched.
dude, fucking little towns be like just losing their shit over the tiniest things. So at this point of my roller coaster, I was rocking pretty high, and I was just like, and then I think, no, I'm rocking pretty high, then rocking pretty low, and then the excitement, the scary stuff that kept coming up went like this, like exponentially, and then this pregnancy thing, I'm just like, and she was pregnant.
You fully thought he had done it, right? Like, you had given us theories. You're like, oh, maybe he tried to kill her, but she's still alive, or he just straight up killed her. So I was loving this.
mean,
I was loving it.
It was gonna be like a surprise, bitch. You thought that you'd seen the last of me.
Yeah. I mean, it was. So, through this investigation, the detectives and Nick are finding clues because Amy and Nick had this little, like, cute little treasure hunt game that they played every single wedding anniversary, where Amy would leave clues for him and he would have to embark on this treasure hunt about their relationship, and they'd get gifts. And in the first couple years, it was cute. Like, when they bought each other the same gifts, I thought that was funny.
And when they fucked in the library.
That was nice, too.
That was pretty fucking hot.
That was pretty great.
That was pretty nice, too, huh? And so this year, Amy also did that. The detectives in Uncovering Clues also just, like, have been reading. He had tried to burn the diary, right? And the detectives find it as, like, the final clue. And that's where they see this sort of, like, narrative of, like, oh, as they moved and their marriage broke down, Nick was just getting more and more abusive, and like she was afraid that Nick was gonna kill her. So, and Mama, you bought it.
I surely did. I was just like, he absolutely did it. Like, it's so crazy. And then, surprise, bitch.
This to me, when we saw Barbarian and it was the hard cut to Justin Long driving, I got the same wig snatchery that I did with this hard cut to Amy driving. Because when I saw this in the theaters, I was like, you know, they did so good at making us hate Nick Dunn. It was so good.
They surely did.
They were so effective in doing a giant red herring among so many other red herrings.
I mean, truthfully, like, it's always the husband that does it, right? Like, that's the whole, like, thing about it. And, you know, it's like, you don't want to believe that all these bad things are happening, but, like, someone can be. And this story has been told so many times, like, that a man is so fucking stupid that he cheats on his wife, and rather than divorcing her, he'll go to the ultimate limits to push her to her wit's end. And she's like, I want to try to make this work. And he's like, I don't. You have to be gone. Like, I don't even want to, like, try to be in this conflict. I just want you gone now. Like, love can turn into hate so quickly.
That's because men are cowards.
Also, whenever someone puts out life insurance or puts up the life insurance in any case, I'm like, you done did it, huh?
It's always Munty.
You done did it now, huh? Is there anything Forensic Files taught me is the moment they up your life insurance, it's over for you.
Right?
Come on, Dateline.
Come on, Dateline. We should have Bill Hader on this podcast.
So why? So you guys can suck a dick together?
What? Sky knows damn well only I will be sucking the dick, please.
Yeah,
She
I'll
respects.
respectfully. He's my bro. He'd be my bro.
Okay, because I'm like, I thought he was on your celebrity list.
Oh, he is. I love him, but like between the two of us, I respectfully bow out.
That's her brother-in-law. She can't be sucking her brother-in-law's dick, dude. Like, that's fucking wrong.
Dumbass.
And an in-law away from
Talked
incest.
about it, chapter 2. I just find that a little hard to believe, but okay.
No, she does love Bill Hader, and we watched Barry together, and we've crushed on him and Andy Samberg since we were teenagers. But she likes Andy Samberg more, and I always like Bill Hader more.
I like how you so kindly split the list.
Yeah. It's like, well, it used to be like, you get him, and I get him. And then we'd fight over some people.
All right. Anyway.
Hard cut. Rigor girl, Amy's driving, and this is when Antonio put down the homescapes and said, hello.
And I was like, hello.
Hello, Chicago.
Oh my god. Rosamund Pike, thank you for finally joining the party. Because honestly, it's been such a fucking bore up until this point. True crime out the window. It is now a game of intrigue. Her voiceover is a slay. This is now a game of wits. It's war. The game is on. So when she discovered that Nick was cheating on her, she made a master plan to frame him for her murder, and she played the longest of cons. Her diary was a falsified account, which started to leave crumbs to her nader about Nick's temper, whose pee she stole out of a toilet that she turned off so that way she could get pee. Can you imagine the amount of detail that goes into this woman's planning?
When were your faves ever? Falsified pregnancies.
Falsified death. Falsified pregnancy. The whole kit, the whole caboodle. So she put these clues in the treasure hunt about Nick's guilt, splattering blood all over the place.
That part was disgusting, by the way.
Yeah, it was.
Her with
I
the
was like,
IV. When she's taking her own blood out and just like reading a book.
But I was just like, also like slay though.
Chef's kiss, chef's kiss, chef's kiss. This is the
also
cinema that I am
researched
looking
a bunch
for.
Too.
She did research. She made plans. Oh my god. And the quick thinking on this woman's part. It's just so artistic. Hello,
Artisanal.
I'm finally... It's artisanal. It's not just artisanal. This is like that type of like once-in-a-lifetime con that I one day hope to be part of, just somehow. I don't care in what part. If I have to be the humdrum, boring housewife to play a part, my god, let me do it well.
You're gonna try to fake your death, but this guy's gonna find you passed out trying to get your blood out. You wouldn't get very far.
The lengths this woman went to.
And this is also,
this
like
is
you
cinema.
said, the voiceover is a slay, and that whole monologue is so...
My god. It's chef's
delicious.
kiss. It's right... It's so much better than the Haitians monologue from Clueless. So much better. Like, I want us to memorize it.
I think we should. It's a long monologue, but I think we should split it in parts and do the cool girl monologue.
I think we can do it. Oh my god, there's so much about that. That's just like...
I was trying to write down favorite quotes, and at some point, you can't see it, but I like wrote it, and I couldn't finish it, then I write something down, couldn't finish it, and then I X'd it out, and I just said the whole speech.
The whole... there's one part... There's one part that I love in that thing, and I'm just like, man, if my man's ain't like this, send it back. But that monologue, truly... It should be. I want it like printed and kept on a wall. I want that. I want that for
Noted.
me.
Noted.
Great. Hey, Dolly, as the loser, what did you think about this? Take us, take us, hold our hands and take us through the journey
Through the
with
wig. The wig snatchery that occurred.
I'll close my eyes.
I have nothing to say. I just thought that it was really crazy. Like,
Were you surprised?
Yes, absolutely. At first I was excited because that's such a devious plan. And then it kept going. And then I'm thinking to myself, for somebody who cheated on me, this is going a little too far. And so that's why I also didn't want to fucking tell you guys while we were texting each other on Discord and stuff. I didn't want to fucking say it, but I'm like, I don't think I like her. And that's why I went dark. Because I'm like, I don't think I like her, and I don't think I want to watch the rest of this. Because I'm like, this seems like it's going to go to a place where I'm going to have another unpopular opinion, and you guys are going to, like, shun me.
Mama, it's not unpopular because you don't like villains.
Yeah, you don't like villains.
You
so
never,
makes sense.
Chris Evans. James
I was afraid of
Branson.
Tangerine, and there was no villains there.
Like, you never like a villain.
The villain was Life in Tangerine.
Yeah, that's what it was. The villain was heroin in Tangerine.
Heroin was just a bad friend. The true villain was Life.
It
Yeah.
was like...
I never
describe it to
expected you to like Amy, Dahlia.
I can describe it to you. As she was talking about her devious plan, it went from like true excitement and like kind of like that little high where you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe it. I think I was listing it out. I was like, step 1, step 2. And it was just incredible. I was like, I can't believe the thought that goes behind this. And I'm like, this though, I could see myself, if I was going to be that devious, going to lengths to, if I really felt like, you know, getting revenge like that. But then it just kept getting a little darker. And then I was not, it was like having a smile, and then you hear immediate like bad news that hurts you to your core, and you're like slowly like it fades away into like numbness. And then I'm just like, oh my God, I'm like, I don't think that she's the good person here.
Nope.
Like, truthfully, they're both not good people. But I was just like, to this extent, I'm like, I don't want to call her crazy. I'm like, she's just unwell. This woman
She's
is unwell.
unhinged.
She's unhinged.
Unhinged.
You know, I knew you weren't going to like her, but you know who I was excited? Because I was curious to see if you remembered. I knew my good sis Antonia would like her.
I adore her.
There we
I
go.
adore. The work is immaculate.
Which is so funny because we just finished recording Murder on the Orient Express, and we were like, we're vibing. And then right now we're like, we're not vibing. You and me.
No.
Oh, you too.
No. Puzzle
Me and
pieces.
Antonio.
Puzzles are great. I love puzzles. I love
like,
puzzles.
I love
love
Jigsaw.
plans.
I love the
Oh
crumbs.
my God. Dahlia might give off Jigsaw vibes, but we know who has a true appreciation
For the art.
for the art, for the vine. Ugh. This is when this movie really begins.
I think I don't know. I when I think about revenge, when I see this, I'm like, that's exactly what I would like to do to someone that fucking fucked me over. Like, it's very like, I know it's very unwell and it ain't right, and it's very dark-sided, but let me tell you something. It really, that fire sign in me is like, now that's how
part.
you get yours is. You know what I mean?
Now, if you go back to us talking and he's just not that into you, I think at some point I said, like, if what Bradley Cooper did to one of us, I would burn him alive. That's what I mean. It's like there's a little part in you that you're like, I'm going to burn you.
That
to a
unhinged
crisp.
part. That mental illness in you. That's
The
like,
mental-
now that's
The
Mental
dark
illness,
side.
isn't it?
mental illness.
If you listen to this entire thing, she's not wrong. She's tired. She's exhausted. You know,
She just took
this
it a
is where it
step
was.
further. You know what I mean? Like,
You know? But can you
Look,
blame her?
Antonio, I get the vengeance aspect, but at the
It's not the
ultimate goal
infidelity.
was for him to die at
As he
the
should.
hands of the
As he
state,
should.
and that's
As
what
he
I
and
mean.
for her to kill herself.
Yes.
Right.
That plan ultimately ends in both of our demise.
But then she
Right,
said,
right,
no,
right.
I'm not. You know what? And then she's like, why the fuck would I die for him? And I said, you're damn right, sis.
Oof. We can expand on this later when we get to favorite quotes, but because this is where I start tuning into this movie. This is where it starts being a movie.
She is unwell. She is a villain, but she is my villain. It's like you so rarely get to see good, because you're right. I think you're about to say, Antonio, it's not just about the infidelity. It is just the complete destruction of this relationship that led to this. And she was already unwell, sure, let's say that. But
She was
more than
already
the
fucked up
infidelity.
because of traumas from her parents. So she just, hurt people.
Hurt people. Hurt people.
I love you trying to make excuses for her.
I'm loving it too.
Look.
Like, she's very gorgeous
this
to me.
whole I have, because my favorite quote is like in that monologue.
Yeah.
Obviously the whole thing is, beautiful and everything. My favorite part of this is like, in here. So like I like reread it and I was like, she's not wrong.
And also, just to top that off, it started making me feel bad for Nick. And I'm just like, what the fuck is happening? So that's why I kept on going on a roller coaster of emotions, because like the story kept pushing me to believe what it wanted me to believe. And now I think what I think, but I'm like, watching that one time through,
It's crazy. Nick figures it out with his sister Margot. He gets a team ready, including some ex that
Shows. Forgot it does. That show.
Good fucking
Bro, that
job,
fucked
Tetzel.
me
What
up.
did you go to school?
Guys. There's one letter.
Okay, all right, let me start that sentence over. He gets a team ready, including some ex that shows that Amy was sus from the beginning. And hey, what's going on here, man? You set me up for failure with this one. And Medea shows up and is gonna be
Avengers
his
Assemble.
lawyer.
I can't wait for Medea to be in the Young Avengers.
Medea defends marriage.
You fucking didn't finish that.
And Medea what? Just ad lib.
And Medea.
And Medea. Medea's here
And
to save
Medea
the day.
takes the case.
Yes, yes. Tyler Perry, I don't even remember his character's name.
his name was like, nope. I guess it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, but he's a
he defended husband killers, widowers. So
he takes
very famous.
Nick's case.
yeah, because Nick goes to him and he's like, "You gotta take my case," and he's like, "Baby, I'll take your case because like you're national headlines for me." So NBD and
We're gonna
like
make that money.
The money, honey.
at this like search group thing, somebody from Amy's past comes in. It's Desi, who we'll talk about soon. And he was, I think, out of all the exes, he was the one who like stalked her after high school. They dated like for a little bit, and she put a restraining order on him. And then the other guy was accused of rape, and so he, I think, was found guilty, and then he had to register as a sexual predator. And he provided a story that made it very plausible that Amy has a tendency to go a little too far. And so,
Go above and beyond,
That-
if you will.
yes. And so Nick, knowing that now, he's just like, I'm sure she's out there and she's just hiding out. And she is. When we're talking about her driving in the car, she's like fucking going to some fucking campground and she's like hiding out. Like, truly. It's so crazy to see her just like lay low and watch the news about herself. I'm just like, this is a little insane. Like, this is also really narcissistic of you to watch your own news.
Haven't you ever
headlines.
fantasized if you died, who would come to your funeral?
I was like, when she was watching that shit and was like talking to it, I was like, okay, same.
I would be like all over that. I Google myself now.
Now
Now I'm
that's-
dead.
Now that's the mental illness.
That's mental illness. I will defend her.
Dahlia's like, this is the last episode of the podcast. And I'm done. She was like, restraining order times 3.
Get 2, buy 1 free.
Dahlia, you didn't know you bought 1, got 2 psychos for free when you became friends with Sky?
Just like I guess not like the story. Like, I was also marrying into something that I didn't know. I didn't know.
Surprise! You kind of like it though.
You're kind of into it though. You're still here.
You little freak.
We've dropped hits many times before.
Dahlia, I've never not let anyone know that I'm absolutely unhinged. In fact,
you know from day one. I think you tried to push me out the door. You're so unhinged. When you met me, you're like, I don't need new friends.
You're like, this one hugs too much.
Me.
Also, I'm eating the little snakes from Haribo. One is sweet and one is sour.
Aww.
The two sides?
wait, there's snakes?
Fuck twin flames. I want twin snakes.
Fuck gummy sour or like
That
sour
sounds
gummy
so
worms. That sounds absolutely fantastic.
God, I love gummy candy. Oh my god.
I don't. I don't.
Those
want
gummy burgers be
Oh,
fucking.
the, no,
slap,
the
slap.
gummy crab. The Krabby
No,
Patties. No.
Can't pick and choose, Petzl.
You can't pick and choose. You get out of here, and we don't want you here.
The gummy
You walk through
lifesavers.
that
Can't
door, you
fucking
don't.
sit with us.
The gummy lifesavers are pretty good too.
The gummy lifesavers are good, but you can't sit with us. You can't sit with us. You gotta sit in your corner.
Okay, back to the podcast.
Why?
So, like,
Okay.
Amy was
Why
hiding
should
out.
we have to?
She has her muntie that she's hiding under the fucking mattress.
Oh, by the way,
She's just
also that
laying
burger
low.
she ate to gain weight, fantastic. Go on.
Ooh.
I did like that part of that monologue. She's like, I stayed like this so that he could think that I'm his cool girl. And I'm just like, wow.
All the
You know,
gummy
and I
Krabby
wondered-
Patties she ate.
And I wonder, like, you know, how often do we mask ourselves for new relationships and stuff?
Absolutely.
And then when we see the real people behind it, that's why it takes a while. Can't jump into things. Really got to think about it
Trust issues, huh?
and figure out if they're crazy.
Well, you're still here, so you long figured out we're crazy.
I might be the crazy one.
And honestly, I think this whole time, because we present that we're not well. Dahlia hides
Our
it very
gender
well.
my gender presentation is unwell.
My orientation is unhinged.
I am not
Unhinged.
a man or a woman. I am not well.
I am unwell.
Cue Matchbox 20 song.
Unwell. My pronouns are
I'm
unwell.
not crazy. I'm just a little unwell.
You better work, Dahlia.
What is with these songs today? Holy shit.
I like that song. Anyway,
No, it's a
she's
good song. They're just coming out of nowhere, and I love it.
At the
They're
woodwork.
Out of the wood.
So Amy's ootin' a boot in some other campground hours and hours away, and then fucking Nick is trying to figure shit out. He's like, I got a lawyer now. I got to go on some TV shows. I got to like lower the suspicion on me. So yeah, Medea
Don't
is
be
his lawyer, and then he
suspicious.
deals with that
Don't be
very
suspicious.
well. Don't be suspicious. Anyway, so we were talking about how Amy has like, she's hiding out, right? And she's got a mentee. Well, she gets robbed because she drops her fucking money fanny pack on the ground.
Been there.
And of course some
All 50 cents.
All the Monopoly money.
You can't even flip a quarter into a well.
anyway, she gets robbed and she can't call nobody.
Except one.
Out of desperation, because truly everybody thinks she's fucking dead. She's still trying to keep this ruse up. She can't call anyone that she knows except for the one person that might want her the mosty. And it's because she's been communicating with him over the years in letters that she calls Desi, Neil Patrick Harris, who showed up to her search party thing and was like, I need help.
What's
I've been
Desi short
used.
for?
Desmond? Maybe?
Let's
Thank
find out.
you.
Nope, just says Desi Collins. Let's not find out.
Not
mean,
gonna find
anyway.
out anytime soon.
I think
We ain't gonna
I
find
think
out.
you're right. Desmond sounds like
Desmond.
a full
I
name.
like that.
But Desi is also a name, I think,
It is.
itself.
Anyway, so she goes to Desi, who's Neil Patrick Harris, and I can't not see Neil Patrick Harris is one of those actors that you can be in anything, but you're still gonna be Neil Patrick Harris to me. Like
You know what Antoine said when he walked in? He came back from
you
wherever
said,
he
is that
went
Neil
to.
Patrick Harris?
He said, no, is that Barney Simpson?
There you go.
Stimson.
It's called typecasting, and it's awful. In particular, the gays get it the worst.
But he
But
was
I
very
don't-
good.
I don't know Barney like that.
I don't
I don't watch that show. He is Neil Patrick Harris.
The only time
Well-
I've ever not seen him as Neil Patrick Harris is Dr. Horrible's Evil Sing Along. Only time.
Or what about the series of unfortunate events?
That's true.
He was
that's
Count
true.
Olaf.
Oh, thank you.
He was a complete villain. He was not himself.
No,
my Count Olaf.
wait. No,
Your Count Olaf,
not
Jim
mine
Carrey.
either.
Is Jim
Yeah,
Carrey.
my Count Olaf
I
is
did
Jim
like the
Carrey.
series though.
Did you like it? I didn't watch it.
I didn't like him because like all I could see was Neil Patrick Harris, but everyone else in that show, I was like, "Bitch, you better work."
I don't know Barney from Barney is a dinosaur from our imagination. That's the only Barney I know. I do not.
I don't know Barney
how-
from a purple dinosaur to a SpongeBob
to us.
character.
Wait, hold on.
Wait,
Wait, hold on. Who do you think is Barney in SpongeBob?
my bad.
What character do you think is named Barney?
My
in
bad.
Do you
SpongeBob?
mean
Like,
The
I'm done.
Simpsons?
I'm just
Do you
kidding.
mean Barney?
No,
No, he meant
Do you mean
Neil
Barney
Patrick.
from the Flintstones?
No, he
No.
meant SpongeBob. Now I'm wondering who do you think that was?
Patrick, probably.
Patrick, the name Patrick. Neil Patrick Harris.
There
I don't
it
know
is.
Neil Patrick Harris as Barney, and I don't know
You
Barney
two
from
are,
Neil
like,
Patrick Harris from
y'all-
fucking.
You fuming?
Barney Star.
Y'all are fuming because y'all are the SpongeBob queens.
SpongeBob weeps.
Same fucking thing to me. I don't even know if that's really what I mean, but it sounds right.
Anyway.
Anyway,
Any-
Neil
Anyway.
Patrick Harris do be doing a good job of playing like a
Crazy.
very
straight.
he's rich now. Like yeah, he's rich. He's straight
He's
in
straight.
this clearly.
Could do worse for backup plans. Could do worse.
He's a very like cultured man, and I think that strokes
He's
his
got
ego,
heated floors.
which
He has
later
heated
plays
floors.
into Amy's plans to his demise.
Yes.
But go
So
on.
she arrives and she tells him, you know, like I've been abused. She kind of tells this story of that Nick had abused her and stuff, and she's running away from him, so she had to like fake her death or whatever the fuck. And he takes her in, of course, because he's obsessed with her.
yeah.
And so at the same time, Tyler Perry and Nick had said, like, you know, you have to admit to the fact that you had an affair. And they're like, okay, like, let's do it. But the girl, Andy, beats him to it. But they still go with it. And so it is like put on national television that like Nick has admitted to it. And he does it in a very well way.
In a
He goes
candid
on a
way.
different,
Very
goes-
candid.
Oh, it's so candid. And like that's where I start to admire Nick and Amy both.
Because he's also
I'm
playing the
just
game.
saying-
Dahlia, what were you
Yes.
gonna say?
I wanted to say, let's not ignore that Andy, the person that Nick had his infidelity with, was Emily Ratajkowski. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you doing here, girl?
Yeah, model.
I don't know her.
She's a model.
She is a model, yeah. She was also briefly a little actress on a show called iCarly.
She was dating Eric Andre. I actually looked this up because I'm like, I don't know her at all. I've said this in other episodes. How does Eric Andre get so much pussy?
Because he's funny.
He said, let me in, and they let him in.
that too.
We make the same joke every time.
I think
You
Dahlia
keep
did
asking
say
the
that
same
last-
question.
And the
It's 'cause
answer
he's
has not
funny.
changed.
It's because he's funny.
He's funny.
At no point does 2 + 2 not become 4.
Yeah. Eric Andre will continue to get pussy. Anyway, so Nick has a very good candid interview where he kind of like speaks to Amy, like, you know, come home. He does like a lot of symbols of their relationship. And Amy looks at that and realizes game recognized game. That's my man's.
Antonio,
That's
your
who I
eyes
married.
just lit up.
Antonio's like, I love the chase.
And Neil Patrick Harris is like, don't look at him.
Don't look at him. He's part of your past. Don't do it. And Amy's like, you have no idea what you've just done.
Yes.
And
It's like, you're in my way now. Now you're collateral damage.
now you are just another pawn. And so Amy, in her amazing abilities of just like improvisation and planning.
Improv queen.
Oh my god, improv queen. Like there are comedy improvs and there are like crisis improvs, and she's amazing at it. She starts building an elaborate scheme to get the fuck back home, but safe. As best as possible. Obviously it's pretty haphazard, all things considered. But she does things like shoving a wine bottle up her hoochie in order to make it seem
Not
like
hoochie.
she
Like
was
she'd been
assaulted.
abused.
She positions herself right against the camera, which is the one part of this movie that I will always remember because it's so just conniving and just like devious and just so
Dark.
Yeah. Dark
So
side.
dark. Like
Dark
realizing where the
sided.
cameras are. It's like there's a dark and then there's just like sinister.
fucked up.
It's so sinister.
Very
Fucked up.
sinister.
It's so
Yeah.
sinister of her to do that.
You ever just like see those parts of movies where people are screaming but you can't hear them, but you know they're like screaming at the top of their lungs? Like her screaming in the little corner, like clutching her. I think she spilled or she put her nightgown in wine so it looked like she was bleeding. And so it was just so like it was disturbing and
the
sinister for sure.
details.
Like for
It's
she
the
was
details.
like screaming. If you saw that out of context, you would absolutely believe like the worst was happening to her. I just
Exactly. And that's why she did
That's
it.
when-
And she does this preemptively before she even does anything else. She's like already building in her head how to get out of here. And then eventually, you know, she takes the plummet basically. And she's like, it's go time. This is what we're doing. So she seduces him into his nice fucking comfy ass bed, which, oof, want to just lay in like a really nice bed just once just to see. I just want to
See
know.
what it
That's-
feels like.
That
I just
bed
wanna
looked mad comfy, dude. Like when she just put her hands on it, I was like, my back was like,
Crying out for money.
That's how
My
you
back
know
is
we're
crying
adults.
out for money. Oof. I was like, ooh,
that
new bed?
comforter,
Who this?
Those
She went from
pillies.
trailer trash to probably what is almost definitely a $10,000 bed.
Oh goodness
And
gracious.
Oh goodness gracious!
Oh,
but she
goodness
pulls him into his own bed and slits his throat and continues with the act.
gracious. A fuck.
You know, a fucking right up until the end. And then she goes full psycho. Full psycho. Black Widow's this poor man. Or Praying Mantis is this poor man. You know,
she's drenched in his
liked her.
blood.
She's drenched in his blood. He's drenched in his own blood. He's got no pants on. Tisk tisk.
Barbecue sauce on my titties.
Right? And this is the part that I kind of gotta disbelieve. But her immediate action, which is just so cinematic but not realistic, is that she drives straight home.
Yeah, that was the one I'm like, that you lost me there for just a nanosecond. But I'll take it.
But I'll take it. I'll take it.
Wait,
I'll take her.
why though?
In the narrative, where else would
immediately-
she go?
In the real life narrative, to the immediate like next human being that can get her in touch with police.
Yeah, like it was like very
Like,
very dramatic.
like the first gas station I see after escaping something, I'm like, please help me. I've just been assaulted, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, we coerce it. But she goes straight home, gets
To her
out of the
man's.
car.
And that was
bloody.
her first mistake.
No, I don't
Also,
think she made
I
it.
think she
there was no
knew
mistake.
too.
She didn't make a single
I
mistake.
think she knew too that she was going to be in front of her house that probably had a billion like news stations. In
And
front
that
of
was
it.
what it was. That's a mistake in and of itself.
And yes, and when everything like you start pulling at the strings and things start unraveling, like nobody at the end of it though, Antonio, nobody gives a shit about that part of the story, about what made sense and what didn't make sense. The thing is, she's back. And that's all that mattered. That's what America wanted. America wanted a happy ending to the story of renewed, rekindled relationships. And
I thought
a
they
new
wanted
start
Nick
at
Dunn
life.
to hang. I
They
thought
surely
they wanted him on.
did, but America loves to change its fucking feelings about every fucking thing all the time.
I
So
love a redemption story.
if it's not
the media is
murder,
just a tool.
if it's not murder, it's redemption.
Spectacle, baby.
But as
Winning
she's
a spectacle.
collapsing into her man's arms, he's like, "You fucking bitch."
I love that part. Cause I'm like, ooh.
It's like, hello, we're lovers to enemies, maybe?
That yeah.
Very
You
much
gotta
that.
take me back.
But as she's, she has taken to the authorities because, they got to, talk to her and shit. And Miss Detective Boney is very suspicious of this. She's like, the story doesn't make sense. She's like, wait a second, this doesn't make sense with this. But Amy's like, I'm just so foggy. I've been through so much trauma. And everyone's like, please.
If you were still in charge of this investigation, my husband would be dead.
Yeah, and it's a whole room full of like male detectives, and then Booney's the one woman detective, and she's just like, my intuition.
The math ain't mathing.
Right. But the men are like, oh my god.
But the men are all FBI, and she's local.
Yeah, so they're like, shut up. let Amy speak.
She's got like triple like cards stacked against her. She's got male FBI agents.
I've seen enough SVU to know that when the feds come, it's probably over.
It's over, baby.
You've also seen Criminal Minds. They are the feds, and how they get along well with the locals.
Yeah, but those are the fun guys. SVU
Those
is
are
just like, fuck the feds.
AFAB.
I'm a Criminal Minds girly, so.
Well, anyway, so Amy goes in, and Nick's like, bitch, what the fuck did you just do? Girlie, what did you just do? And she said,
Tell me everything.
Tell me Loca, where the hell have you been?
Where the hell have you been, Loca?
And she's like, come upstairs. I have to make sure you're not wearing a wire.
And then
I'm like,
we see Ben Affleck's dong.
Cheek?
wait,
No,
I
do you
missed
see
his
the
dong.
It was the whole dong, my friends.
Y'all missed
No,
it?
it wasn't.
Y'all missed the dong?
Yes,
I gotta
it
go back
was,
and
girl.
watch it.
Oh my god.
It was pretty big.
Be back later.
I'm
I
gonna go-
will admit, it was.
It was a pretty, they wanted him hanged, but he was hung.
Ketzel, you can't do that.
I can't keep getting away.
Anyway, they go in the fucking shower, of which I'm gonna have to go back and watch to see some
Antonio's
dick.
Antonio scrolling. Can we just wait to get the dong? Let Antonio get the dong, please.
No, never. The dong happens, and then she's washing herself, and she's like, oh, you think you can get out? You're never gonna get out, baby. I'll never let that happen. And she's like washing herself, something so intimate, and I think so like mask removed, right? Like this is her true self here. So it's like really like fucking wild to be like they're face to face finally, like with the things that she put him through, clearly the things that he put her through. And here they are like trying not to make amends, but it's like, we're both in this together, bitch.
There it is.
And there it is, Antonio. Stellia, can you please go Exhibit A, please?
Antonio, you can't do... I have to download this document. It's so huge.
I'm just watching this GIF over and over. Just watching
Let me see the hips swing.
I hate you. Swing.
Oh my gourd. Wait, let me put that up.
No, oh my eggplant, not a gourd.
Keep him coming, guys. Keep him coming.
I'm not gonna lie. I like when the guys have like that little like, not like
It needs a couple of strokes
belly,
before that happens.
like when it goes, oop,
A little pooch.
and then the dick happens.
A little pooch.
I like me that.
Anyway, so he's got the pooch.
Dolly was like, anyway, where were we?
Yeah, so we get the
Ben
dong.
Affleck was delicious in this movie. Thank you for showing me that dong. That was wanted.
Wanted dong pics.
The most wanted dong.
Dong pics. Harry Potter and the most wanted wand.
and the chamber of dongs.
Y'all are dark sided.
That chamber of secrets had a big basilisk.
And that concludes this episode of Sit
said
Down
we
Loser.
weren't gonna do this anymore.
Fellowship of
Come
the
on.
Dong doesn't have the same ring. Anyway,
2 towers. I only
One
need
dong
one.
to rule them all.
one dong to rule them all, one dong to find them. Okay, so Nick decides he's got to go. He's got to leave. I can't be here. I feel unsafe in this house. I can't sleep in this. I can't sleep with a moiter and a crazy person, really. But you know what my good girl Amy does? She fucking inseminates herself with his sperm. And Nick's like, bitch, what the fuck?
A masterful
I haven't
move.
even fucked you.
He's like, I didn't even fucking touch you. She's like, bitch, do I look like I give a fuck?
You don't gotta. Because, like,
You don't gotta.
in the before times, as we're watching from earlier, they had gone to a fertility clinic, so he had donated his sperm. And just because you throw the paper away doesn't mean you throw the samples away.
You also think this bitch has not saved his sperm just randomly anyway, just in case, for a rainy day? He knew some shit was gonna go down one day.
Just get it in your mouth and you're like, put it in the
She's
freezer.
like, I've been exploited. Everyone else is getting exploited.
So,
Exploited people exploit people.
that part. So now he is stuck to her and this child because he just decides, you know what, I'm gonna stick by my minds. Margot's very upset about this, but he's gonna stick by her. So Amy wins, and they announce on TV that they are staying together and expecting a child.
And it's so
end.
crazy. And you know, I will say, like, my thought that I was saving until now is, like, I think that he was just so defeated that I don't think that he wanted to fight anymore. And, like, the thing about that was game recognized game, right? But if he's given up, then now he's just kind of stuck. So you really don't know what's going to happen after this. And in fact, one of the last things that's said in the movie is what is said in the beginning, which is like, what are we going to do to each other now? Like, what will we do? And I'm like, and then it just ends right there. Mic drop. I was like, oh, it couldn't have ended like this, but it surely did.
He nutted one last time.
I love the parallel from like the beginning to the end, like her looking up like in the beginning and then her looking up at the end. It's just so much more sinister, and I fucking
So much
love
more,
that shit. 'Cause
loaded.
She looked so empty before, and then when she looked up the second time at the end, it's not like she was
She
smiling.
looked
exactly,
satisfied.
but she
Predator.
Looked, yeah, she looked like
She looked like she just ate.
She do be eaty.
Sometimes your life just gets so fucking boring, you just have to zhuzh it up just a tiny bit.
Antonio. You can't talk to me about that.
You gotta add a little spice.
Anyway. Dahlia, was it worth a watch?
Yeah, it was absolutely worth a watch.
Nice.
Would I do it again? Probably not. It'll be a while.
Dude, that's how I feel about Arrival. Amazing, fantastic movie. So heavy. I when I think about it right now, I'm like, I get so sad.
Hey, I felt the same way about this movie to start. That's why I was like, I'm not super
See, I
excited
find
about
this very fun.
I did too.
I find the second
like-
half of this movie
Ketzel, that's because we're
particularly
unwell.
gratifying, and then she gets to the part where she gets robbed, and I'm like, well, this sucks.
My girl's not having fun anymore.
If mom isn't having fun, I'm not having fun.
I'm not having fun tonight. I'll never forget when we were at the Gaga concert. when she was like, "This is for anybody that's not having fun tonight," Antonio
Oh my
immediately stood up.
I developed what I think was the first of the last gallstones that night because I had a hot dog there. And I vomited when I got home. So it began my descent because a week later is when it all.
Oh, that's
hit
right.
me.
You weren't with us. I was like, I don't remember you throwing up because you were not with us.
I was throwing up in a different section. Gosh, she was gone, girl.
She was gone, girl.
And 2 weeks later, I was gone.
Anyway,
Hot/solid cast.
mom.
Yes.
Mother.
Antonio just full on mouth.
Come on,
his
Chewbacca.
microphone.
Deep throat of the fucking.
How did you get that in there?
If I had a
Back in
nickel every
there.
time I heard that. I mean,
You'd have a
Now,
penny?
Ketzel.
no, trust and believe, good sis.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it was
Hot
good.
cast. And solid cast. Everybody
Yeah, it
played
was
their
good.
parts very, very
Yeah, it was
well.
fine.
The soundtrack. Come on.
Come on, 9 Inch Nails. It's not 9 Inch
Trent
Nails.
Reznor came back. from being in other David Fincher films
Social Network.
to do this again. I don't even know. Wait, was this before or after?
This was after Social Network. I forget that Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross did fucking Soul, the Disney Pixar movie, and it sounds so much like these songs, like the I don't know, like that experimental, like bass thumping shit. Like, it's good. I know you haven't seen Soul. It's so good, Sky.
I know, but I feel like it's gonna make me cry. Costume design, set design / location.
Costume
Good
design was fun. It was fun. You know,
I mean,
he
I
looks
think
like
it
a
was
normal
to
guy.
see.
It's about Amy, the nightgown, the dress.
The nightgown.
The nightgown, the dress, the I'm really trailer trash hiding out here. The I am a virginal girl going to bed with the boy that I really like. The I am the blood spattered maiden coming home to her husband.
Now
The
that
change
it's
in
all-
hair.
and then it's the I am the conniving wife.
You'll have to see it.
I love it.
Quotes. The whole cool girl.
I'm so glad you asked.
The whole cool girl thing.
The whole cool girl monologue. But if y'all want to take out your favorite lines.
I liked the whole monologue. It was so great. But one of the other lines from like the beginning of the movie that made me chuckle was the February 14th, 2012 entry in her diary. For Valentine's Day, I thought I'd buy a gun.
The whole cool girl monologue is it for me. Your right should be embroidered on a pillow. And my outside of that monologue, my favorite line is her going to Nick at the end. I'm the cunt you married.
That too.
I'm that cunt. I'm that cunt.
Cool girl monologue as a whole, obviously. But there's a line in it that I was like, you know what? If this isn't like sort of like the embodiment of what I want, then there's nothing.
Then kill me.
Then kill me. Then we should not be together. Nick teased out in me things I didn't know existed. A lightness, a humor, an ease. But I made him smarter, sharper. I inspired him to rise to my level. I forged the man of my dreams. We were happy pretending to be other people. We were the happiest couple we knew. And like, honestly, if you're not going to bring out the best in someone and they're not going to bring out the best in you, don't bother. And then my second one isn't even a full quote. It's actually just written, and it seems just like it's worth it in my head. It's kill self? ?
Just multiple times too.
It was multiple times, just like the question of it. Like,
Maybe.
she was so committed. She was like, maybe I will just kill myself. I've just been exploited. Just seal it in stone, sort of. And she's just like, maybe.
And then she takes him
And it was
out.
just
She said, no. Dolly, did you have any favorite quotes?
I truly can't think of any. I think my hand was just over my mouth the whole time.
She was wrapped up in the story.
If I see Ben Affleck in the streets, I will take him
I'ma
out to
whoop his
Dunkies.
ass.
And I'm going to whoop his ass.
I'm going to take him to Dunkies, buy his drink, and then throw that drink in his face.
Anyway, as the loser of this episode, do you feel like this movie was worth the hype? And do you think you missed out having not seen it?
I absolutely think this movie is worth all the hype. I don't think that I got any hype when I was in 2014 for me immediately. However, the hype that you guys brought to me and how we've been talking about it for at least a year, I think like even from the very beginning, we've been talking about like Gone Girl. It definitely lived up to it. I think it really I wouldn't say surpassed my expectations, but I think it really drove me to a place that I didn't expect. And I think those are the best kind of movies, because when you go in there and you're not sure what you're expecting, you get something wholly different. Like see the fucking Dead Poets Society. So when shit like that hits you, you're just like, this was a fucking good ass movie. Like I do kind of regret not having seen this sooner, but I think it's really awesome to watch it now. Like I think the later that it gets that you've seen it from when it originally came out, the better. And it was a book, so I'm sure it was a book for many years before it became a movie, but I liked it a lot. I think it definitely was worth the hype. And if there was a movie that I would have wanted to watch again, for the first time, this probably would be on that list. It's a very short list. I was gooped. It sucked the energy from me. Like, I'm not even mad. I'm just like that was heavy. Would I watch it again?
Rue was like, it's heavy, and everyone's like, no, it's not. And I was like, yes, it is.
We're unwell. We already covered that.
I'm deeply unwell.
Dude, you heard me throughout this entire episode. I already knew I was unhinged. This is not a good movie for me. It brings out way too many bad parts.
You're like the possibilities.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very my vibe.
It's very the vibe that I could be.
I'm all about vibes.
I'm all about
If I could
vibes.
bottle that up and sell it as me, that would be the vibe.
Yeah, but no, this movie is all about not about supporting women's rights, but more importantly, supporting women's wrongs.
That part.
That concludes this episode of Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. We'll catch you next time.
Bye, losers.